Alrighty, we are back. Rams franchise. In the last episode, we went through the 2039 season where we ended up going 11-6, something like that. We ended up making the playoffs as the free seed. However, we got knocked out in the first round to the Seahawks. Went through the offseason, and here we are. And you best believe we're going to be getting right into it, watching this game, because this team took us out last year in the playoffs. Granted, they got wiped the next game, but we obviously want our revenge. What better way than week 1 home opener to start the season off in a good way. 7-0 is going to be the start. We tied 14-7 Seahawks lead now. 17-7 the Seahawks still leading. 17-14, 21-17 the Rams lead. 21-20, 28-21. And what a start to this season. We end up losing 28-21. Well, with that game out of the way, we can officially take a look at the roster. Obviously, I wanted to start this episode off with a bang. Seems the team didn't really agree. But this is what the roster is looking like. Obviously, it has changed a lot. We have some new guys. We have some guys who are taking the next step up. Carl Crawford's age 35 in year 15. He did get re-signed to a 1-year deal, so whether the computer elects to re-sign him again remains unknown. But this is what the defense is looking like. Special team. It sucks that we lost this game. I actually feel like we improved for the first time under the CPU. Because our big issue was we knew our offense was good. It was just our defense that we weren't very confident in. And they actually addressed defense in both draft and free agency. And we end up losing that one. But I really like how this roster looks all together. We're able to win this one 24-16, even getting a weekly award as well, which is going to go to Hogan, getting 7 tackles and 2 sacks. Back-to-back New York games. We beat the Jets. Can we beat the Giants? The answer is yes, we can. 38-14 with yet again another weekly award. This time, going to go to Terrence Sweeney. 9 tackles, 3 of them being sacks. A chance to rebound into the division. We obviously started 0-1, but here we have the 49ers, a chance to get back to 500 in the division, putting us at 1-1. Let's see if we can get that done. It is considered a rivalry game, obviously. Battle of California. The 49ers early on in this series served as our biggest threat. However, times have changed. It has, evolved to the Seahawks. 7-0 the 49ers lead. They're going to extend their lead to 14. Now, 21-7. 21-15. Can the Rams make the comeback? They cannot. Going to drop to 0-2 in the division after losing 21-15. The most important games of this season are the division ones. And for us to start 0-2 and be 2-2, not a good thing, because it shows we can win our out-of-conference games, or not even conference, division games. But we need to actually beat our division games. I mean, that's the tiebreaker for the division. That was the whole thing last year. I mean, we went 11-6. Seahawks went 11-6, but we had the tiebreaker over them. 49ers went 10-7 because we ended up beating them. We went 35-31 over the Patriots. We also sustained a new injury. It's going to be Keenan Poindexter. He is going to be out for the season. Our wide receiver 1. Thankfully, we do have a lot of good wide receivers, specifically these young guys who the computer has drafted. I'm excited to see all of them. We had 3 of them with Hidden Dev in the same draft class. Let's see how these young guys do. Let's see if Carl Crawford is able to adjust now that his receiver 1 is out. First game, it's going to be a loss, 38 or 28-14. The division is still up for grabs, though. We are the worst team at 3-3, which isn't a bad thing because we don't have a losing record in the last. D Bonds, our halfback, is now going to be injured for the next 6 games. I do believe we still have one of our old reliable running backs, though. We don't. It looks like we released some. But we do have Ducksworth, who I know for a fact we drafted this year. Obviously, the hidden dev gives it away, but... Ooh, we almost missed that one. Are we able to wrap up the win, finally get on the board in the division, or are we going to fall yet again? And if we lose this one, it would put us below 500. And we can't even finish above 500 in the division if we are to lose it. The best we can do is 3-3. I guess I accidentally hit key moments. We'll go ahead and advance to the end of the game. We're going to take a 7-0 lead. Make that 10-0. Make that 13-0. 16-0. 23-0. 23-6. Quality win there, only allowing 6 points. That's the defense who I believe in. Big takeaway from that is we ended up scoring 3 field goals in a row. That is a good and a bad thing because it means we are scoring points. However, we need to see those field goals be converted into touchdowns. That would have been a much better game on our end if we were able to turn those. I mean, 3 points is good and all, but we had 6, 7, even 8 if we try and be ballsy right there. But we got the win, all that matters. We're going against the Vikings, a team who has been constantly at the top of the league. 30-14, we win that one. Going to go ahead and advance the game against the Dolphins, see if we can win that one. We do, 24-10. That'll take us to week 10, which is our bye week and the end of the trade deadline. So we're going to see. Only 2 trades happened, and both of them involved the Dolphins and an AFC West team, one being the Broncos, the Raiders, the other being the Chiefs. I do want to quickly check our re-sign players as well. Obviously, we're not going to get involved, but we have 70 million cap space. We have D'Angelo Spikes, who's already not interested, whether that means he'll be a free agent or what has yet to be seen. Carl Crawford's obviously, he is a big name. Hopefully, the computer knows his value because, yeah. Or at least, let's bring back Joe Frey. I'll go ahead and do that manually. The man who won us a playoff game as a backup. I'd at least like to have a familiar face at quarterback, whether it be Crawford or Frey. Obviously, I want it to be Crawford. Let's not get that twisted. But if we have to rely on Frey, then so be it. Or if the game thinks drafting a quarterback would be the better choice. We're going to go ahead and advance. Obviously, nothing to worry about as it was the bye week, assuming no practice injuries or anything. We're going to be going against the Panthers now. We currently sit second place in the division at 6-3. Although the 49ers are in the lead at 7-3, so all we have to do is win out, and we would pass them because, well, we do play the 49ers later on in the season. Great start as we win 20-13. 49ers had their bye week, so we are now tied. Going to go against Saints now. Are we able to keep the momentum going, or is it going to... No, we keep going. 35-14. We do have a new injury, however. This one going to be to D'Angelo Spikes. The good thing about him is he is going to be back. 6 weeks he will be. He will be back for the playoffs if we happen to make it. However, if we don't, which currently we set the 5 seed, and we are tied for the 1 seed, we just don't have the tiebreaker. So we're at a good spot right now. Sitting at 8-3, we're only 1 win away from locking up a 500 or better than 500 record. which we get right there against the Bills. We now have the Cardinals. We are still the 5 seed. However, the Vikings are 8-4 at the 2 seed, so we have the tiebreaker over them and everything. We just need to beat the Cardinals, or not the we preferably beat the Cardinals. The main thing, however, is going to be beating the 49ers when we play them. Because even if we end up with the same record, if we happen to lose to the 49ers, they would sweep us. They would have the tiebreaker. Obviously, the Cardinals game is huge as well because that impacts the division tiebreaker. Speaking of, they go up 7-0. We even it up, however. We now take a 14-7 lead. They tied at 14-all. They take the lead 17-14. 20-14. 21-20. Rams lead. 28-20. And the Rams are going to win this one. Jeremiah Matthews, a longtime player for the Cardinals, quarterback specifically, ended up retiring last offseason. So he was in the draft class before Carl Crawford, so the very first draft class. He was actually a guy who I wanted to take. However, I was not in the position to trade up for him because obviously, if you don't remember, we ended up making the Super Bowl, so we had pick 31. So we were, unless he happened to fall all the way down or to a good enough spot. But we have locked up a playoff spot with that win. Minnesota at 9-4 has already locked up their division. Next best team being the Bears and Packers at 4-9. They have the worst 3 teams in the conference. So, cakewalk for Minnesota. But we have big games here now, going from Cardinals division to the Buccaneers, who have a winning record. We're going to win, though. We then have the Seahawks, the 49ers, and then the Falcons. We do, however, take the number 1 seed as the 49ers end up losing. The Seahawks are 8-6. They are looking to make a push for the playoffs, hopefully punch their ticket in. They also can still make the division, or win the division. They are just going to need the win out and a bit of help, but we could put an end to their hopes right here, right now. They did beat us week 1. What better way than to tell them, hey, you aren't winning the division. They start out 7-0. Make that 14-0. We respond with a touchdown. 14-7, 14-10, 21-10. Seahawks extend the lead. 21-13, 24-13, 24-21, 28-24, 31-28, 31 all. We're in overtime, and it's going to be a 37-31 Seahawks walk-off. Great battle between 2 great teams. Unfortunately, we do get swept by the Seahawks. They are going to keep their division hopes alive with that. However, this is by far the biggest game coming up right here. Week 17, 49ers. Oh, I said they still had playoff hopes. Well, they kind of don't anymore. What they needed to happen was they needed the 49ers to lose their game. Didn't happen. So, Seahawks can't win the division now. Granted, they can still make the playoffs. They're 9-6. They probably have a good chance. In fact, they probably only need to win one of the next 2 in order to make it. However, this is a huge game. 49ers, if they win, they lock up the division. Rams, they don't quite lock it up with a win, but they would be in a very good spot. 7-0, the Rams lead. 7-all now. 14-7, the Rams regain the lead. 14-10, 49ers creeping up. We're in the 4th quarter. 14-13, 21-13, Rams lead, and the Rams are going to win. Like I said, they don't quite lock up the division because the 49ers did beat them earlier in the season. But with a win or a 49ers loss in Week 18, they would lock up the division. Rams also Week 18 are win and get the 1 seed. They currently have that on lock because of the win against the Vikings earlier in the season. A lot of pieces of the puzzle falling into place for this Rams team right now. As you see, number 1, the Vikings. big game. They got the Bears, so a division game for them. We got the Seahawks and the Cardinals. The Seahawks have locked up their spot in the playoffs, but Arizona at the 8th seed. If they win and Tampa Bay loses, then Arizona with a losing record would make the playoffs, and that would mean all 4 NFC West teams would make it. 49ers are playing the Patriots, so they got an easy one. We're playing the Falcons, on paper an easy one, but we can't guarantee anything. Who are the Buccaneers playing? That's the big one. They're playing the Browns, who are also 7-9. So this could be a very interesting end to the season. All 4 division leaders are nearly locked up. Rams and 49ers, we obviously know it's going to be one of them, just a matter of who. And we already know the 1 seed's going to be between the Vikings and the Rams. I don't think the 49ers can get it. Even if both teams lose and they win. Week 18. Let's get ready. Winning would mean we lock up the division and we lock up the 1 seed. Can we get it done? We start out with a 10-0 lead. 10-7 though. Falcons staying in it. They lead 14-10. 21-10 the Falcons lead now. 21-16 the Rams. 24-21 Rams lead. 28-24. 35-24. 35-32. The Falcons upset the Rams in week 18 while only throwing for 122 and 1 touchdown. Come on. We couldn't have stopped the run game, I guess. With a chance to get a first-round bye on the line, we choke it away. Unless we get super lucky and the other teams lose, but I highly doubt that's going to happen. We already know we're in the playoffs. Do we end up playing a home or away game is the real question. Do the 49ers win their game? Do we even play at all? Do the Vikings win their game? These are all questions we're going to find out. We are playing, and we're going to Carolina, which means both the Vikings and the 49ers end up winning their respective games. And the Buccaneers, whether it be by a win or a Cardinals loss, end up making the playoffs. So we are so close to seeing all 4 teams make it. Not quite there. The Cardinals, respect to them, did get the win. However, Tampa Bay was able to beat Cleveland. All right. We're going against the Panthers, who are 9-8. Looking at it, you got the 12-5 Vikings, so they did lose. But the 49ers, dang. 3 teams go 12-5. The rest of them go 9-8 or 8-9. So, are we going to see some playoff upsets, or are we going to see one of the obvious 3 favorites in the 49ers, Rams, Vikings, represent the NFC? We're guaranteed to see one 9-8 team because, well, or 8-9 because there's 4 of them. But starting out, will the Panthers be another team to join? They are up 7-0. 7-6. We missed the field goal, I guess, but we respond with a touchdown 2-point. It's 14-all now. Entering the 4th quarter. Fuck off. 21-14. Twice! We are heavy favorites, and we get kicked in the balls. Come on! Is that really how the season's going to end? Losing to the 9-8 Panthers? We can't win when it matters? Embarrassing. All we had to do was win last week. We would have had the 1 seed. Wouldn't even have to worry about it. But no! None of that matters. Because here we are getting to watch now. The 49ers win. The Buccaneers win. Or the 49ers didn't even win. Every single team got upset. Come on. Now we have to rely on the Chargers for LA again. How does this keep happening? Both of us make it. You know how fun it would be to see a Rams-Chargers Super Bowl? The 2 LA teams? Nope. Don't get to see that. Why? I don't know. The Chargers have made it back-to-back years. Why aren't the Rams making it? Who? Fucking 3 in a row. Come on, Chargers, please beat these fucking birds. I'm swearing so much. I am annoyed. This team is too good. We cannot be regular season champions. That is not the type of team I'm trying to build. I'm trying to build Super Bowl winning teams. 1917, who gets the win? It's going to be the Chargers. They go back to back. Ah! What players do we have retiring? Doesn't look like we have any for us at the moment. Anyone we recognize, though? Nathan Hyde spent some time with us. Congrats to him on his retirement. Will Reichard, one of the few remaining real people. I didn't even know he was. I guess he was so lowly rated that it didn't matter. JJ McCarthy also calls it quits. CJ Stroud also called quits. Those are two guys. Trent Carney, a long-time Seahawks quarterback, good rival to us, calls it quits. So that's crazy because earlier it showed only JJ McCarthy and Joshua Carty being the only two real ones, but there was both Will Reichard and CJ Stroud. I guess they weren't high enough overall to really be impactful because they didn't show up. I mean, we can just sim to the draft and see what the roster looks like from there. The big question is, what team is Carl Crawford going to be on? Is he still going to be in a Rams uniform, or is he going to be a different one? And obviously, if not, who is our quarterback? Is it going to be someone we sign, draft, or are we going to roll with the Bray? The answer to that question is Carl Crawford ends up still being on the team. He is down to an 85 overall. We re-signed him to a 1-year, $44 million deal. So good thing, because the only thing is he's down to an 85. So I think this is going to be his last year as a starter. I mean, if he regresses down, it's going to be to an 80. Or at least his last year as a starter without competition, because if we're regressing even more, then you're at risk of not being a starter. We actually improve on our offense, which is nice. We only ended up having 4 draft picks, taking a corner, left tackle, free safety, and outside linebacker. 2 good picks, 75, 71, and then we can avoid those 2. But got advance week, and then we're obviously going to skip the preseason. No one cares about preseason. Sim to the regular season. We played the Chiefs, Titans, Steelers. I don't care how well we do in the preseason. You get 3-0, 0-3, 1-2, 2-1, whatever it may be. As long as we're healthy. Choose draft class. That's the only thing I actually end up doing. And we just do keep auto-generated rookies. So it's really EA doing a lot of it. But here's the real question. Who is the oldest free agent right now? It's going to be Tanner Pittman at 37. Same with Dustin Longford. Joshua Carty, not on that list. He was not a guy who I saw retire. Could that potentially mean he is on a team? We know he's a kicker. Who is the oldest? Well, let's quickly switch to the NFL. Oldest player on a team. Dave Blackburn at 36. We know he's a kicker. Joshua Carty. Well, he is still on a team. I don't know why he didn't show that. He is an 81 overall. He is the kicker for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And it's crazy how he is a top 10 kicker overall wise, and he is 39 years old. He has been playing. This is going to be year 18 for him. Obviously, we know Joshua Carty. We love him. As you can see, he spent majority of his career here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of what's about to be 18 years with a pretty solid stint in Houston as well before signing with Baltimore 1 year. Now he is going to be the Buccaneers kicker. But that is pretty much going to do it. We're going to take one quick look at our lineup, see how well we're looking going into this season. Carl Crawford's the 86 overall. We're just going to have to hope that you can go out with a bang because unfortunately, I don't think he's going to get another year as a starter, or at least not on this team. But 15, soon to be 16 years of service, cannot hate that. That's the offense. Here's the defense. Our safety room's actually looking really strong safety. We have three great guys. Well, actually, the third one's a corner. But we have some good strong safety. We just need the free safety ain't really there. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. In the next episode, we're obviously gonna look to win. And what a start we have between the Cardinals and the 49ers as our first two games. I will see you guys next time. Goodbye. Hope you enjoyed.